My condolences goes out to the family of Alton Sterling, the man who was shot in his chest for selling CDs. They screamed he had a gun, but it's legal to carry in Louisiana. Don't this story sound familiar? This type of thing happened far too often. The killers see no justice far too often. Politicians fight for sound bites over black bodies way too often. In memory of Alton Sterling, Eric Garner, and too many other murdered by police, I call for every lawmaker in New York State to pledge to vote for the governor, Cuomo, special prosecutor, to be permanent. I call on all black voters in New York to refuse to vote for any candidate that does not vote for this legislation, no matter if it makes it to the floor for a vote or not. No special prosecutor, no vote, period. I call on every lawmaker in New York that claims to stand with Black lives to pledge to support the Right to Know Act, to support transparency in policing. I also call on you to support the anti-chokehold legislation. I call on all black voters in New York to refuse to vote for any candidate that don't support these bills. There is no reason that they don't pass it in a city that claims to be democratic. I call on every congressperson that protested on the floor last week to also protest on the floor to eliminate funding for programs that provide military grade weapons to our local police departments and schools. They need to prove that their fight isn't just for show. And this is something that they can do right now. I call on any candidate for president to address what their DOJ would look like. They need to address why so many people don't get charged. And they need to explain what they would do to address that. It has been 2 years since my father, Eric Garner, was killed on video. The DOJ and all of the resources of the federal government still fail to conclude their so-called investigation. Finally, I call on any candidate for president that values Black lives to end the federal 1033 program that provides our local police departments and schools with drones, tanks, and M16 weapons. This can and should be done by executive order. I beg the Black community to support any candidate that pledges to support these things. I beg of you to force Democrats to appreciate your loyalty more if any of them refuse to support Black lives by refusing them to vote. Period. No negotiation. This ends today.